Ladies and gentlemen, the Bantams are on the lookout for another manager once more, as it has been confirmed that Mark Hughes and Glyn Hodges have both been relieved of their duties. And in today's video, I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts and opinions on this news. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 150 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on this news. Who do you want to come in next as well? There's been a lot of debate and talk over social media. Me personally, I didn't expect this to happen. There were obviously rumours on Monday coming out from, I think it was The Sun, saying that if we didn't beat Tranmere, Mark Hughes would lose his job, and it was confirmed technically yesterday at 8:15. I'm currently recording this at 2:05 in the morning, so I'm not going to be as loud and energetic as normal, but I was really surprised when I saw the news come through. I've had a very busy day, and I finally got around to giving you guys my thoughts and feelings on it. I do think it is the right decision, but it's not one that I expected the club to make, if I am being honest. The club tweeted at 14 minutes past 8 on the 4th of October saying, "We have parted company with men's first team manager Mark Hughes and assistant manager Glyn Hodges. Kevin McDonald will take temporary charge in a caretaker player manager role." Now the article does read, Bantams part company with Hughes. Bradford City AFC has parted company with men's first team manager Mark Hughes and assistant manager Glyn Hodges. The pair arrived at the University of Bradford Stadium in February 2022, with their tenure spanning a total of 19 months. City's Chief Executive Officer Ryan Sparks said, "We would like to take this opportunity to thank Mark and Glyn for their efforts and services to our football club over the past 19 months. They made a great impact when they arrived at the club, both on and off the field, and last season came close to delivering on our aims. Unfortunately, since our defeat at Carlisle in the playoff semi-final, results have been disappointing, and after 11 league games we find ourselves a long way away from where we expect to be. As a result, the decision has been taken to move in a different direction in an effort to get our season on track. On a personal level, I have very much enjoyed working alongside Mark and Glyn, and we go our separate ways on good terms. I would ask supporters to join me in wishing both them and their families the very best for the future, while reflecting on some of the memorable moments they brought us." There certainly weren't many, but the ones that we did have, they were very good. I remember Northampton last year, Critchlow in the last minute. Obviously, the playoff semi-final first leg, what an atmosphere that was at Valley Parade. And, we did have some good ones, but we also, unfortunately, had some bad ones. Now, we didn't have as bad as what we've had under previous manager over the last couple of years, but this season, it's just been a massive contrast to last year, and I think this is the right decision for the long term. I think a lot of people are surprised that it's happened so soon, but I think the writing was on the wall there for Hughes. As each game was going by, the fans were getting more and more frustrated, and I don't think Mark Hughes deserves or was going to deserve what was next for him. And we all know what's next for, you get the couple sacked in the morning chance or the Hughes out and stuff like that, but when you start getting the really horrible chance that Bowyer and Adams got, that's what I don't think Mark Hughes deserves. So I feel like this is the best move really for all parties. The article continues to read though, saying the process of appointing a new permanent manager is already underway, with an announcement to be made in due course. Now that to me says that they've either got a manager sorted, maybe they've agreed personal terms and they now need to agree compensation. I'm not really too sure, but that to me seems like they know who they want, and it looks likely that they are going to get him. I'm also surprised to see Kevin McDonald take temporary charge of men's first team in a caretaker player manager role, and we will be assisted by Mark Truman, commencing with this weekend's visit of Swindon Town. So Truman not getting another chance in this one. It is now Kevin McDonald. It'll be interesting to see, would he be stood on the sideline in his full kit? Would he be there in his suit? It'd be really interesting to see that, wouldn't it? But yeah, I'm really surprised. Like I say, I think it is the right decision, but I was really surprised. And obviously, he came in at a really torrid time. The football club had been under some terrible leadership and direction, and the management previously under Derek Adams and the football that was on display. Hughes came in, and at the time it seemed like a brilliant appointment. Manager never outside of the Premier League before. He come into Bradford City, it got the fans on side immediately, and that season was pretty much a write-off. I mean, we could have maybe got in the playoffs, but there were so many poor players in that side. You think like Threll, Kelleher, etc., that we were never going to really challenge for promotion. It was all about rebuilding in the summer and going again the next season. We rebuilt in the summer. We managed to finish 5th, get into the League 2 playoff semi-finals, where obviously we all know what happened on that day in Carlisle. Channel memberships are now cheaper than ever, with tier 1 costing just 99p. Tier 2 has been reduced from $3.99 a month down to $1.99 a month, and tier 3 has been reduced from $8.99 a month down to just $4.99 a month. Your support, as always, is massively appreciated, and the more members that we have, the better the content will be. Enjoy the rest of the video. But overall, it was still a very, very disappointing season. If Bradford City are not promoted into League One, regardless of how we do it, whether it's through the playoffs, automatics, or winning the league, it is a disappointing season. And last year, obviously, Andy Cook, 31 goals, 8 assists. Harry Lewis had an unbelievable campaign. They were two massive factors. And this season, obviously, Cook struggled at the start, had an injury. Yes, he scored 5 goals in his last couple of matches. I think he's 5 in his last 3 or something like that. And obviously, Harry Lewis's form this season has been criminal. I mean, he obviously saved a nice penalty against Tranmere, but apart from that, he's had an absolutely shocking season so far. And while yesterday against Tranmere, I don't think we played that bad. You know, we had some good chances. Their keeper made some good saves, especially in that first half. Mistakes have cost Hughes, and like I said, I don't think we played too bad, but there has been games this season where we have played bad. And something that is concerning for me is that whenever we go a goal behind, or obviously 2 goals behind, we never really look like a team who are going to come back and get the win. It's happened very, very few times. I could maybe say 3 at the absolute maximum under Mike Hughes, and that's simply not good enough. Obviously, this season, his 3rd season, and he just didn't seem to have that inside him anymore. He didn't seem to have that fire in his belly. He looked disinterested at times, you know, the way he sits in the dugout with his arms folded while his team are getting outplayed. When you see other managers like Derek Adams, for example, for the full 90 minutes, stood up screaming at the players, commanding. And that is what you want from your manager, a real leader, and that's not Mark Hughes, and that's not going to go down well with Bradford City fans. When you're not playing well, you can't then be just looking disinterested on the sideline. I think with the football as well, it's far, far too defensive. You know, we're sitting back on 1-goal leads constantly. It cost us so many times last season. I think it was over 10 points. We take more risks inside our own 18-yard box than in the opposition half with the way he wants to play and build out from the back. It might work in the Premier League, but it also probably won't work in League 2. You know, even Harry Lewis is a good ball-playing goalkeeper, but he's going to make mistakes, and he's making more this season defensively. We don't have a ball-playing centre-half this season. I don't think Stubbs is bad at it, but he's certainly not Romney Critchlow, and I feel like you either want solid defenders and you're not necessarily going to play out from the back, or you get ball-playing centre-halves and they're not going to be as good defensively or physically. And, you know, the lack of taking risk in the opposition half. Every time a winger gets the ball, it's very rare they want to get at them and take them on, and I do think that is down to Mark Hughes, who prefers ball retention to rather a winger maybe taking 1 or 2 players on and getting a ball into the box, and they are going to lose it a few times, but it just seems crazy that we want to make more risks in our own 18-yard box and in our own half, really, closer to our goal than in the opposition half and closer to the opposition goal. But Mark Hughes this season didn't know his best team. Last year he was pretty set and he was a bit stubborn to really change things up at times when they weren't working. This season he's changing it far too much. We've got Brentford's B team right back playing in central midfield. Richie Smallwood can't get a game over him at the moment. You know, Bobby Poynton has a good couple of games and he's not involved in the squad. There's been so many changes. Obviously, we started out with a back 3, sacked that off after a few games, and he just didn't know what his best team was. And I don't think the recruitment's helped at times. And I don't know how much of a say Hughes has in it compared to Gent or Sparks or whoever at the football club. But for me personally, the recruitment has been so poor. And out of what we had, over 30 signings, I think, under Mike Hughes, might even be over 40 now. I'm not really too sure how many of them have really worked. I think it's got to be less than 10, and that's not a good ratio to have. You need at least a 60% good to bad ratio, in my opinion. And yes, while we did really well last season in terms of results, how many of them games were comfortable, convincing performances? Really not many. This season, only the one convincing win, and that was obviously against Newport. But the thing, like what I mentioned earlier, which was interesting to me, was the lack of a real toxic atmosphere. You know, you look at the chants and, you know, abuse that was directed towards Gary Bowyer and Derek Adams. Now, Adams I could understand a little bit more because he wasn't a very nice manager, but Gary Bowyer was a nice man. I think Mike Hughes is also a nice man, while, you know, Derek Adams was a bit of an arrogant moron. I don't really, from what I saw personally, I don't think there was much difference really in the Bowyer team and system to what there was under Hughes. And Hughes, obviously, I don't think it would take a genius to work out, probably had a bigger budget to work with than Gary Bowyer, and he had a better structure off the field to work with than Gary Bowyer. But who is next now for Bradford City? Where do we go? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Who do you want to be the next Bradford City manager? It sounds like they've pretty much already, you know, they know who they want. They've got the the target that they want, and it looks like probably we will go and get it. Now obviously there's been the normal names mentioned, like your Steve Evans, your Richie Wellens, your Pete Wilds. I think Evans very unattainable, doing very well at Stevenage, and obviously a large percentage of our fans don't like him, so I can understand that. Obviously Richie Wellens doing very well at Leyton Orient as well in the league above, so I can't see that one. Pete Wild potentially, but you know, he's doing a great job at Barrow, so I can't see us wanting to pay him out of there, if I'm honest. Chris Wilder I think is a little bit unrealistic. I've seen a few people mention his name. Neil Warnock for me, I mean, I'd take him. Does he suit the route that we're trying to go down with a manager who wants to, you know, play football, you know, playing out from the back and all that sort of stuff? Does he suit that? You know, if he gets you short-term success, which I think Warnock definitely could do, then, you know, so be it, but I can't see us going down that route. The Cowleys for me, I can't say I'm overly convinced on, if I'm being honest. Cal Robinson, he's a bit of a managerial merry-go-round type name, so I'm not really too interested in him. Steve Cottrell is a name that I've not seen mentioned all too much, but I think he did a brilliant job at Shrewsbury. If I'm being honest, I certainly wouldn't be against him. Mike Williamson at Gateshead I think would be a brilliant appointment, and also Liam Richardson as well. I think he did a very good job at Wigan Athletic. He's certainly someone who I would love at Bradford City, but there's many options at the moment. Who are we going to go with? We'll just have to wait and see. Apologies about this video not being as energetic as normal, or hopefully though you can understand with it currently being 2:15 in the morning and all that sort of stuff. I am going to leave it there though for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 150 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on Mike Hughes being sacked and who do you want as the next Bradford City manager. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.